Today on our tutorial, we are going to learn about Next.js, but in this tutorial, I will tell you about what is Next.js and why should we learn about Next.js. So for the very first time, let me have an introduction of Next.js. So let me move in the official website of Next.js. And here if I click on the first website, it is saying that the React framework for web. It is just saying that the Next.js is nothing but the framework of React.js. So why should we learn about Next.js and how should we it better than React.js? You don't need to learn more about Next.js in details because we have to type all the code of React.js in our Next.js. So, but the only difference would be about folder structures, file names, and working with images. And the rest of the part is same as we had in React.js. So here is the definition of Next.js. You can go through it by yourself. So let me tell you a bit more about Next.js, as it has told us that it is the framework of React.js. And what is React.js basically? React.js is a library of JavaScript. Why should our Next.js be better than our React.js? And I have already told you that we are going to write all the code in our Next.js, which we have done in our React.js. But the only difference would be about folder structure, file name, and working with images. If we use the React.js instead of JavaScript, you will have the experience till now that we have done a lot of code in React.js, and now you are able to make a difference between React.js and JavaScript. So let me tell you now what is basically Next.js. Next.js, you can say it is a home in which we have React.js and all the components of React.js. But if you remember, while we were working on React router, we had to import our React router, which was third application library. So we had to install React routing in our React application. But if we talk about Next.js, it has its own built-in libraries. So it don't need to use external libraries. Now I hope you come to know that what is React.js and how is it different from React.js. So let me now tell you that why we have to use our Next.js. If I type here why to learn Next.js, the very first website you can also learn from here, but I'm going to open the very first website which is showing here. So here it is going through an overview of Next.js framework. So let me tell you why Next.js. Here it is saying that 5 essential reasons to use Next.js for front-end development. The very first reason is server-side rendering. As we know that our React.js was client-side rendering. So this is server-side rendering instead of client-side rendering. You can say the Next.js have the both functionalities, server-side rendering as well as client-side rendering. So here is the second reason, which is SEO benefits, and SEO is most important in any of the websites. Our second reason why we have to learn about Next.js, and the third reason is built-in static generation, and here we have the fourth reason, enhanced developer experience, and the fifth reason is higher flexibility and customization, and here it is saying how the higher flexibility is making. So I have already told you that our Next.js has its own library which is built in Next.js. Here it is also saying that custom routing, so we don't need to use any third-party application for using routing inside Next.js. Integration with external libraries and customization of server behavior. Next.js is surely one of the most suitable choices for developing modern world apps. So you can learn all about this Next.js by yourself. So my responsibility was to tell you about what is Next.js and how is it different from React.js